Remember stepping to the club, right? Did you only turn it up, right? She was rocking to the song, you were lurking all along, you even touched your ding dong, right? So tell me what's at your face plans when you put your hands in her pants, or maybe when you hit the guard and beat in that car, kept acting like a rock star. If you act like a douche, of course you'll be loose, yeah. If you act like a douche, of course you'll be loose, yeah. If you're acting like a douche.
Hi everybody, Diet Cookie back. Yes, I'm here doing a react. I haven't done one in a little while. Just dropped in here and there, seen you in chats, I'm sure. We're doing that eating Arabic style mutton and rice. It's going to be perfectly portion controlled, lots of veg, real healthy, and I'm sure she's going to be upbeat and motivating. Pretty confident that's what this mukbang is going to be. It's not going to be like all the others where she just wheezes and wahs and tells a ridiculous story that could be good told properly, but totally massacred by Foodie. Now, I have not pre-watched this. I have absolutely no idea what she's going to talk about, nor what she's got to say today. However, I'm here to react to it so you can watch it while I'm watching it vicariously. You can watch it vicariously through me. Yes. You can go to Foodie's channel and watch it if you prefer, or you can join me and watch this. If you haven't already subscribed. If you do like the stream at the very end, but only at the very end, hit the like button. Leave me a comment at the end. If there's anything that I failed to pick up, pop it in the comments because we can discuss it community post, or if I do a live stream. I think I might do one later today. If we do a live stream, you can always jump on in and bring it up then, or I'll use it as a talking point later. Discussion, many minds, think tank style. All right, so I've not seen any of this. This is going in blind. I've got her on the small screen only because you guys always tell me you prefer big cookie and little Foodie, and I'm sure she'd prefer it that way as well. If I sound a little bit nasally, I apologize. I have got a teeny weeny little cold, completely fine, feel okay. I've just got a bit of a stuffy nose. I think it's just sinus issues. You will probably notice that I am a bit makeup free today. I still look fine, in my opinion. Because I'm doing a little bit of extra exercise and I'm a bit more sweaty and doing a bit more running. I just want my face to be a bit makeup free, give it a bit of room to breathe. So on my days off from work, I'm not doing makeup basically. I just find it usually works out better for my skin because the sweat does tend to make me break out a little bit. There's always a trade-off. You get something good, there's something bad to go with it. But anyway, let's get into the reaction. I'm sure that's what you're waiting for. Okay, let's go. I hope she's loud enough. I'm going to certainly try and make her so. Hello, Foodie Beauties.
Just a hamster enjoying his...
Okay, so straight away, we're going to fast forward through any animal content. Now, because I'm not editing this, if Julia pops up, like the feral cat that she is, hunting for food, I can't edit her out. So we're just going to have to deal with the cat for now. Maybe I could go back and edit her out. No, it'd be too late. Oh, we'll see what we can do. But we're definitely deleting this, getting rid of it. No. And we're getting rid of the cameo advert because that's none of our business either. That's just being invasive, guys. Okay, perfect. Let's go.
Drink.
Okay,
Water.
I've sped her up. Oh, she's drinking water. That's healthy.
I have a few of these.
Why is she
We're
so
out of big
low?
bottles, so we have to go later and get some. All right, so let's get to it. What I have here is some... I'm craving
That's
meat,
a bit better, isn't it?
which is...
Okay, straight off the mark. We're still following our cravings. Does she think that's what intuitive eating is? It's like you sit there and you close your eyes and you think, what does my body want? What am I feeling? Am I feeling sugary? Am I feeling fatty? Am I feeling deep fried? What am I feeling like? Because some people would say, if you even maybe spoke to a therapist, some therapists use this theory, if you're craving sugar, you should eat protein. If you're craving salt, you're probably dehydrated. Sometimes you can play off your cravings with another thing and you'll feel satisfied. Just seems to me like Foodie goes, burger, want it, craving. I felt like it for 2 seconds. That's what we're having today. Get me a burger. Butler Sala, get me a burger. Stat. That's what it feels like.
Oh, this is cheap mutton and dakus, tomato sauce, tomato garlic, I think. Yum.
Where's the greens? I mean, she's got the veggies in the soup, but where are the greens? Where are your veg? Where's your peppers? Where's your onion? Where's your spinach? Where's your leeks? Where's your broccoli? Where's your bok choy? Where is the green and the veg? Where's the crunch? All I see is meat, which actually looks extremely tender, probably because it's cooked off the bone. It's got some nice sauce. Way too much rice as usual, but that's just fine. But where's the greens? Where's your veg? It's going to fill you up so you won't have to eat so much rice.
It's like that soup. And some veggies and pickles. But I don't really.
So pickled veggies. So not even fresh veg. I mean, pickled veg is great, but not as your veg. And she needs to be keeping the sodiums down. So pickled veg is not the way to go, my friend.
Okay, I apologize. I just noticed how noticeable the stain on my abaya is, but I have to explain. This is my favorite abaya. It just has pockets. I like the way it fits. And
it's the biggest one out of all of them. It's the one that's the loosest on her. I'm sure that's why it's her favorite.
Put some foundation on it a little while ago, and I washed it and everything, but the stain won't come out. So unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to part ways because it is...
Sweetheart, a bit of bicarbonate, a bit of vinegar will break that makeup down, removes it in a jiff, and you won't have to worry about removing the colour. Just saying. Or you could try apple cider vinegar as well, or a white vinegar. That'll get rid of the makeup. Just saying.
It's a very noticeable stain, and I'm just noticing now while editing, unfortunately. So yeah, that's the explanation on that. Sorry.
Oh. I don't really want that.
And to be honest, we would just naturally like overlook most stains because you've always got stains on your clothes. Like half of it, we probably would have thought it was a snack that you'd had 10 minutes before this arrived. Just being honest.
I like the ginger, the greens, but pickles are super salty.
She'll eat them later.
So this is my second meal of the day. I made some food for breakfast early. I was up early. You can see the steam off the meat. And so yeah, is this spoon sturdy?
She's still under the delusion that people, she makes food look delicious. Most people, when they know she's doing a mukbang, like myself, actually externally and internally groan, oh my God. There's a couple of things that run through my mind. What is she eating? Is there anything crunchy in there? Is there anything drippy, sloppy, messy, or white? Because white food tend to be worse because it always ends up all over her face and dripping down. How much is she going to get on her fingers and will she lick them? Yes, she will. And how much is she going to roll that food around in her mouth and how many smacking sounds is there going to be? The various degrees of grossness will depend on the type and consistency and kind of food. This one's probably got high droppage potentiality because we've got rice. The soup, she's actually usually not too bad with the soup. It usually mostly goes in her mouth, but the rice has a massive droppage factor. The meat, not too bad. There might be some horrible sloppy chewing sounds when it comes from the meat, especially when she sucks it from the bone. I wonder if she takes the marrow from the bone as well. I know some people like that. But this is not a meal that would make me go, oh, my God. Nothing crunchy, nothing white, less messy, but high droppage. So there will be some rice on the front, guaranteed.
This one. All right, bismillah. I'm not used to getting up early. My sleeping has always been a problem.
Okay. I'm curious. I don't know why. I usually eat the soup in between my main. Couple of reasons. Soup holds its heat. Takes a bit of time, especially because it's got big potato chunks in it, to cool down. So I'll leave that for a little bit and I'll start working on the rice and the meat because it's going to cool down a lot faster than the soup. So by the time I've finished my scorching hot soup that I've got to blow on and wait and blah, 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 my meat and rice are getting stone cold. I don't understand why she goes for the soup first. Maybe it's just the way she likes to eat it. I don't get it. Why eat the thing that's going to stay hot when the thing that the other option is going cold, so then you have to eat that cold. But the soup will still be warm to hot by the time you get through the meat and the rice. I don't understand it. It's Foodie's way. She's quirky.
Vegetable soup, yum. Yummy.
It's always yummy. Yep, got to
Falls
use the
apart.
fingers. Oh, it fell off the
Honestly.
bone. Yeah. Sweetie, you're going to need to use the spoon for it.
When I
It's
first
too
came here,
flaky.
I didn't like this meat at all. I didn't like meat, really. At least not.
That's not true. She absolutely loves meat, loves it. She's going to say, I didn't like pork. I don't like bacon. We've seen her eat plenty of bacon all the time. That's just something she likes to say to impress Muslim men. She does like meat. She prefers meat. She'd get meat lovers pizzas. That's a lie. And she loves chicken fingers. What does she think chicken is? Chicken tenders, chicken fingers, chicken burgers. Chicken is meat. And FYI, I'm not a huge fan of lamb either.
Mutton or sheep or lamb.
It's a bit gamey for me. I'm getting better.
But the way they prepare it here is delicious.
The recipes are prepared beautifully all over the world. Lots of cultures create lamb dishes. I would put this dish up against a really good Irish stew. Beautiful deep flavors, lots of flavors, aromatics thrown in there too. Some beautiful Italian dishes. North African dishes usingly. Greek dishes using lamb. The Middle East does not just do good lamb. There's lamb everywhere that's pretty good. But the Middle East is utopia and it's perfect in every way.
For real.
She looks so
I have no
sad.
makeup on.
Yep, drop edge.
I just simply cannot be bothered.
Why does she buy those tiny weeny little bottles?
Whatsoever. For some reason, I have Pink Floyd The Wall in my.
She's okay. This is what she's done. She's read something somewhere. She's Googled something somewhere, and she has no lead in to tell the story because she's going to talk about something after this Pink Floyd thing that she feels like relates to the Pink Floyd Wall song. So she needs to have a prelude to the story that she wants to talk about. She's got nothing to talk about. So she's going to be like, yeah, I've just had this song banging around in my head. And that reminds me, she's read this or seen this somewhere. I'm just guessing. I could be completely wrong.
I had, the. Hey, you.
Don't sing. Don't do it. No, stop. Thank you.
Don't give in.
No, stop.
Without
No.
I grew up, I remember watching The Wall one day.
I'm in Shukith. We have a lead up to a stupid story from her childhood. You've done it again, Cookie. You've done it again.
I don't remember
That means she's making it up as she goes.
exactly how old I was.
Mm-hmm.
But parents, this is what happens when you trust your preteens or... yeah, I think I was a preteen. Look at this meat.
So this is clearly a story she's made up. She doesn't even know how old she was. All she knows is that preteens are mischievous. So she must have been a preteen when this happened. And nobody wants to see your meat. Not the meat you're holding up, not the meat that's under your abaya, and not your man meat, your husband. Nobody wants to see meat from you. Food. But thank you for offering. Don't want to be rude.
So tender. Oh my gosh.
Then use the spoon.
When you trust them, with the VCR in the basement.
This is shifting into dark territory. And I'm sorry, VCRs are not sinister. It's what you put in the VCR that could be a problem. Who thinks that maybe preteen Foodie accidentally stumbled across some sort of corn? And she was like, oh, I'm interested. I'm a curious cat, I am. She's watched something R-rated that she shouldn't do. I mean, okay.
We bees. What was your first VCR bees?
I remember back in the 80s, the very first thing that I ever watched on VCR, because it was a big deal because it was the 80s and VCRs were very expensive, and they were still the VCRs that had a cord that ran from the remote control to the VCR, and it took forever us to figure out how to set it up. But it was a live action version of Cinderella. And we watched it and we watched it and we watched it and we watched it because we had it for an entire whole week. We did. And I think the other one that we used to watch a lot was The Greatest American Hero. I think there was a video. No, we used to watch that on TV. That was the first video that I really remember flogging the guts out of, was the live action. I think maybe Whitney Houston was in it. I'm pretty sure, but I remember it was a live action Cinderella movie, and it was on VHS. And we loved it. And it was a top-loading VHS, not the ones where you slide it in through the front. It was one you slide it in the top and you had to push it down. For all everybody here is old enough to understand what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm saying. And yes, we all did used to put that little bit of sticky tape over the VCR so we could tape over stuff, or stuff wouldn't get recorded over. We all did that. She eats like a hamster.
I think mine was The Wall. I remember the kids going in the meat grinder, and I was like, I remember liking the movie because I thought it was so weird.
Okay. Great story, Foods.
I didn't understand the meaning because a lot of the references are about like addiction, like drug addiction, and I didn't get it at the time.
Well, good. That's good. That's wonderful. You shouldn't have a reference point.
So near the end of the movie, when they play Comfortably Numb, and he's like melting, and they're trying to carry him on stage.
Now, I'm going to say something that's probably going to get me cancelled by everybody. I could probably name one Pink Floyd song and one Pink Floyd album, which I've never listened to in my life. Is it The Dark Side of the Moon and The Wall? Another brick in the wall. Dun, dun, dun. That is literally all I know from Pink Floyd. I don't know any other. I might know a song, but I don't know who it belongs to Pink Floyd. I'm not a rock era type person. And I'm not saying it's bad at all. It's just not my flavor. You know how music moves you, makes your feet go, makes your brain go, makes your heart thump. It makes your body tingle. Certain rhythms and sounds like fit. They fit on you like a nice cardigan. It's comfy, it's cozy, it makes you feel good. That's not the kind of music that does that for me, but I get that it does for other people. I have no Pink Floyd references, sorry. So all I hear is blah, 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 blah. That's what I'm hearing from Foods. But okay, she's trying to sound cool, I think, because I think Pink Floyd is cool, apparently. It's a cool band to listen to.
Why is he melting? But when I would watch it when I was younger, it was just like a weird, trippy movie to me. I didn't get it.
Watch Labyrinth. That's trippy. Dark Crystal. That was trippy. Actually, that was another one we watched.
As you watch it as you're older, it becomes a lot darker because you do understand the meanings of it.
Fascinating.
And it becomes very sad. You have losing his father.
Oh, have we got music and movie critic Foodie? Is that who we've got today? She's giving us her hot take on The Wall from when she was a child that she can't remember how old she was or barely remembers, but she remembers and she's telling us all about it. Wonderful. Could have done, did she know she was going to talk about this today? Could she have done a little bit of research? And maybe, okay, I'm going to be like her media and TV teacher today. I didn't even take media and TV, but I'm going to be the teacher because I can imagine how assessments would go. Okay, Chantal, can you show us your presentation on The Wall today? Why, yes, ma'am. I've chosen this one because blah, 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 1974, yada, yada, the band was formed, yada, yada. I remember my personal anecdote, blah, 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 blah. She could have presented this was, you know what's been banging around in my head the last couple of days or just this morning? The Wall. And it reminded me of a time when I watched the Freaky movie when I was younger. And I went and had a little bit of a Google, and this is what I found out about it. And then talked about it and given us details that she remembered and then why it was perhaps done in the movie and what it meant to her then, but what it means to her now instead of this disjointed, tangled up, nonsensical blather. Because someone like me who's not into Pink Floyd would have no idea what she's freaking talking about. To assume that everybody, okay, Pink Floyd fans out there, please don't at me, but to assume that everybody's into it and knows what she's talking about, I didn't even know they had a movie. I didn't even know that. But just because I don't know it doesn't mean other people don't know it. But there are people out there who are like, what are you talking about? This is boring. I'm going. I don't care about your stupid Pink Floyd. And they log off. She could make this interesting for people who are not aware of what she's talking about by giving us better details and reference points. But I know, not Chantal, just random off-the-cuff thoughts that she thinks everybody finds fascinating.
The war, being his wife having an affair, all kinds of dark things. His struggle as a rock
star. She has got the filters turned up to high heaven. She's reaching to the gods with the filters today.
With the addiction. It's a classic for a reason. But it's,
why is it a classic?
It can be triggering for some, I'm sure. And anyone struggling with addiction, I just want to say, hang in there.
Hang in there.
You're going through that, and
excellent advice, Boo. Well. Yeah, idiot.
It's not easy. That was I remember watching that alone.
So now she's jumped back to talking about the movie. Ugh. Yep, I can understand why people fell in love with her as a mukbang storyteller. I can see why she's really got a strong audience for that kind of content.
And for some reason today, I have the music in my head. So weird.
She has this propensity to have music in her brain. It's one of her little things relating to what she's going through. So when she was Nata, she was always love songs. She loved The Weeknd. She was always singing love songs. Or when she was depressed or angry, she'd be singing like, burn it down, burn it down, burn it down. She has the music that reflects her in turn. So The Wall, either this is a grab for sympathy or she's very well thought out because it's about addiction and she's talking about addiction and how it's triggering, her mind is triggered to, The Wall, I'm an addict, a fighting addict. Oh, it's all coming together. Whether she's planned this to grab more sympathy because she's in sympathy mode, feel sorry for me because I'm sad and mad and unfit and my cardio's bad, my mentals are bad. Whether she's tying all of that in with, you got to remember, I too am like you. I'm struggling with that action. I mean, Pink Floyd's playing around in my head. All I can think about is The Wall. It could all just be a ploy for sympathy. Who knows? It could just be her subconscious trying to tell her you're dying. But I will. Eat that rice food. Eat it. Eat it all. Eat every last grain.
I think I prefer it. Well, no. Actually, I don't know. I prefer the meat now with this rice over the chicken. I made some good food today.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure it was spectacular.
I woke up. And I did, I felt so good because I woke up and I did some yoga, like some stretches. Not like, I don't know if it's a yoga, but it's like stretches. I did like a video, watched a 10-minute video.
I'm glad she corrected herself there because I don't think she probably did the 10-minute video. I think she probably watched it, did a bit of this, did a bit of that, did a bit of this, bit of that, and basically probably just watched it and wished she could do most of the moves in it. But she's got the video. That's step one. Doing the video is step two.
5 minutes of stretching.
Movement is great. Just do it tomorrow as well. And do it again later today.
I did the I made breakfast. I spent some time with Howie. I listened to some I was watching. Basically what I did was I unsubscribed from anything that was like remotely like dramatic or negative.
She didn't.
Which is, I was subscribed to a ton.
Like who? Like what? Oh,
A ton of true crime. And I was
true. Okay, I guess you could look at true crime as negative. I know. See, I watch a crap ton of true crime. Like I watch Coffee House Crime. I watch Bailey Zarian. I don't watch her Dark Histories, but I do watch the Murder Mystery Makeup Mondays. I watch that chapter, True Crime Daily. At the moment, I'm going through my police phase, my corrupt cop interrogation phase, my interrogation phase, the DUI, the drink driving videos, the freakouts, the Karens, the get arrested, the parking tickets, those sorts of. I'm going through those real, like the GoPro video cam phase at the minute. I don't find it negative. I actually find it reassuring that I know that there are good police officers out there proactively policing the roads, trying to keep drugs off the street, protecting people with mental health. There are bad cops out there too. I understand that as well. I watch those ones too. I'm a fair-handed overlord. I do like to focus on the ones that are doing their job well. And the ones that really impress me are the officers that are unbelievably patient in the face of the most disrespectful, not even always drunk, lunatics who just like to antagonize everybody, whether they're police or not. The patience and experience that some of these male and female police officers have are something that I could not even fathom having. I would be kicked off the force for shouting, yelling, and abusing someone verbally. I don't think I'd physically assault someone, but I'd sure as shit give them a mouthful. The patience that they have is unbelievable to me. I find that as a positive. It reassures me that there are people out there in the world trying to protect us and make us feel good. And I can only watch the true crime ones. I prefer, I should say, the ones where the murders have been solved. I don't like unsolved murders. It makes me feel anxious, and unresolved. I like true crimes where the bad guy is being caught and punished. That makes me feel good. Maybe she sees it as negative because it's death, murder, kill, blah, blah, blah. But I see it as a positive. I enjoy the content. Foodie obviously sees it as a negative, so she's unsubscribed. I would recommend that you unsubscribe to certain reactors and just not watch their stuff. That might make you feel a bit better. That might just disengage from Girl World, do your stuff and forget about all of us. And I think your life would be much better. Keep watching your true crime. Get rid of the reaction channels. They don't do anything anyway for you. You get upset, just unsubscribe to that and your life will be immediately more positive.
I was listening to a podcast about how the images, what we feed our eyes, has an effect on our mental health.
Mm-hmm. True.
About, unaliving and
true crime is very different from watching stories about people unaliving themselves. And dark stuff, that's a little bizarre. True crime is usually not people emitting ooh-eyed. What are you watching, Foodie? I agree you should have unsubscribed from those dark websites. That's a little weird.
Just like mysteries that are like,
She's planting seeds. God, she's gross. I watch a lot of dark stuff and it affects my mental health, especially stuff about suicide. She's going to go on a tangent and a rant about that, about unaliving. That's going to be her next jump. It's part of the cycle. She talks about that. You guys want me to do it. That's where you're driving me. You're pushing me to that point. It's like, no, man, we're not. Your unchecked mental health will be the undoing of you if you continue to engage. What your mental health does and how it affects you is up to you. She plants these little seeds, little nuggets to get sympathy.
Oh, those kind of true crime videos.
That's not your problem, Mom.
We have to say unalive.
The true crime
videos
videos are not the problem.
It's weird. I mean, I know it's not a nice word, but so yeah, I used to watch like be subscribed to so many of those things.
And yes, I know my hair looks a little weird today. It's humid, okay? I can't do anything about it. I've tried my best. This is it. This is what I can do with it, all right? Just leave me alone. I was just sitting there looking at it going, oh my God, I look crazed. But oh well, it is. It's just hair.
But they always like bring me down after I watch them, kind of.
Then don't watch them.
I used to like find them fascinating and just entertainment and not really think about it. Just like a passive watcher, just like whatever. But
the chewing,
the greens are like bitter and peppery. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Then I would say toss out half of your rice and fill it up, backfill that and mix it in with your rice, your peppery greens. Get an entire bag of it. Toss out half your rice, put it in the box, mix it around. Replace your rice with your greens. It'll dramatically make it the texture nicer, the flavor better, and you'll be eating extra crap tons less calories. And your sugar levels will be much. Just get rid of the rice as much. Don't.
This is so tender.
It's because it's slow cooked. It's slow cooked meat. It can't not be.
Such a good flavor too.
Slam. Oh my God.
I used to find it too gamey.
That is exactly how I would describe it. It just too gamey. Oh my God. Oh my God.
If you get it from a place that's really good at cooking it, so unsubscribe. And I subscribe to a whole bunch of different like more, happy vlogging channels, Islamic channels, with other Muslim couples.
Well, isn't she going to get the poops when she sees the affection demonstrated on camera and probably in public or in the apartment that Salah is too uncomfortable with because he's such a strict Muslim man, can't have any actual physical contact with my wife either in private or public or anywhere. I get the public thing. You're walking down the beach. It's not like you can give her a big smooch or a smack in public. However, in the privacy of their own apartment, there's nothing wrong with him giving her a peck on the cheek or a peck on the mouth other than him feeling uncomfortable demonstrating that to his beautiful, cute wife. He didn't look too uncomfortable taking photos with that young, lovely lady in the bed in the red room. That was quite intimate and close. He was quite comfortable taking that photo. But this one, his devoted and beautiful, gorgeous wife that he covets and just cherishes. Not even a peck on the cheek. Weird. Oh,
I listened to some Islamic teachings. I'm trying to feed my brain nourishing things, just like we try to feed our bodies nourishing food,
Foodie, if you're feeding your brain like you're feeding your body, this is why you are dumb. Your body is malnourished, your brain is malnourished. This is why you're stupid.
I kind of have you guys ever seen A Clockwork Orange?
I knew she was going to bring up Clockwork Orange.
It's a really dark movie. Very dark and not for the faint of heart. But, if you have seen it, I'm not encouraging you to watch it, but if you have seen it, there is, the whole point of it is like disturbing images really can rot your brain, I guess.
Like this mukbang? This is disturbing. Watching you eat is disturbing. But we still do it.
So
this is why I edit them.
I'm going to see how much that helps, I love this like vegetable soup they always give you.
She's always just looking for that magic pill, that quick, easy pyramid scheme, small investment, high return result, isn't she? There is not, I mean, that could marginally help her, but she's at the point where that's not going to be, that's not where we're at, Foods. That's not where we're at. You full physical workup, full mental health checkup, and ongoing inpatient care. That is where you're at. Unsubscribing to some dark, true crimey websites and YouTube channels is not going to be the cure all. It's probably going to work as just effectively as all your eating your diet meals and your intuitive eating that you did last month, where you gained 3 kilos. That's how effective. You'll find more stuff to trigger you and engage because you like that chaos. You need therapy and inpatient care. That's it. That's my layman's non-expert opinion. Foodie needs to go into care. And she needs to go to a doctor and get a full workup. No questions, no if, buts, or ands, no doubts, no excuses, no nothing. She needs to go and see a doctor.
They always give way too much rice, and I never ever.
Just because they give it you doesn't mean you have to eat it. You don't have to eat it. You know how you could solve this problem, Foodie, of overeating on the rice? Put it in a beep in bowl. Put it in a bowl. Put some rice on the bottom. Put your meat over the top. Take your soup. Leave the rest of the rice or toss it in the bin. I know that's wasteful, but when you're an overeater, sometimes you've got to do stuff like that. You have to get rid of the problem. Or put it in a bag and stick it straight in the freezer so it freezes and you can defrost it and use it later. Don't sit there and eat it from the container because you will overeat.
I've finished, or maybe honestly, like once I finished the rice, but not from here, like somewhere else. But they give you so much rice that it's just like.
They give the serves of rice that the meat is supposed to be for. So all of that meat that you had on there, you're probably supposed to have 1 bone or 1 knuckle per plate, or 2 bones or 2 knuckles per plate, and then divide the rice up accordingly, either 4 serves or 2 serves. It's not 1 serve for 1 human lady. It's for a couple of people. That's why they give that much rice. That isn't 1 serving of rice. They probably assume that people are going to use that rice and use it over a couple of meals. It's not 1 sitting serve. That's where you've got to get it out of your head. You've got to stop looking at portions like that, thinking that, oh, that's a single serve, and I've done so good because I didn't eat the entire thing, but you only ate enough for 2 or 3 people. But I left some in the bowl. When she looks up into the camera like that, sometimes she just looks so desperate. Like, I don't know what she's desperate for, but she's got this look in her face. It's like a bashful, I'm ashamed, plus defiance, plus I have no clue what I'm doing. All I can think about is the food that I'm chewing in my mouth. Like, there's this look that she gets in her eye that just sort of like it hits me in my chest. It's like I don't know. I can't describe it, but I get this feeling when she looks directly into the camera while she's just shoved something in her mouth and she looks up and I don't know. I can't describe it, but she does it a lot and I can't not see it.
I've been asked before, like, what do you do if, like, you go to a country or somewhere where, you know, they don't have halal?
Wait a minute. Why would anybody ask her that question? She hasn't been to any other countries. She's been to Cuba. She's been to Kuwait. She's been to Canada. Why would they be asking her when you travel to? She hasn't traveled anywhere. She hasn't been anywhere.
Options to eat meat. then you just eat vegetarian or vegan or whatever.
That's not accurate either. Okay. There can still be non-halal products accidentally processed in vegetarian foods. Okay, it can still not be halal. Just because it doesn't have animal products in it doesn't mean it's halal. Because they can accidentally sneak like the vegetarian stuff. That's not the solution. But okay, all right. Vegetarian still has cheese and stuff in it, like the pork. It could be cooked in pork. Oh God. All right, fair enough. Just that's so much rice.
But I like that about here as a Muslim. I don't have to worry about looking for specific halal restaurants because everything is like.
You're so worried about making sure the food that you eat is not halal by living in a Muslim country, which is, makes sense, right? That the community that you're in would have food that would service them and it's a religious requirement, blah, blah. But you're not too concerned about following other pretty well-documented behaviors and rituals that are required for like even the most basic of practicing Muslims. Not too concerned about those. The way you talk, the way you act, the way you talk about people cursing, the things you do while you're wearing your hijab, lying, degrading people, swearing, swindling people, grifting. Like you don't seem to be concerned about those behaviors, but making sure that your diet is halal, top priority. Very important.
Kuwait is a stricter country that way. Everything is like halal. The fast food, like if I go to Canada, I can't eat the burger.
It's not so much stricter, it's just highly available. I'd pretty much say that most Muslim countries would have a high amount of shops, grocery stores, purveyors of food that would provide halal. What you don't understand, Foodie, is that just because I'm not a Muslim doesn't mean that I can't enjoy or eat halal food as well. Halal is for everybody. Everyone can have halal food. I'm just not seeking it out because it's not a requirement for me. But if a halal produced meal is put down in front of me, I can eat it and it's not a problem. Okay? Do you get it? You require halal food, so you need to look for it. I don't require halal food, so it doesn't matter. So if we were both given the same dinner, we're both okay. Nobody's got a problem. So if all restaurants were halal, everybody is okay. Everybody gets what they need. So Muslim countries would just provide food. They're just providing food. Okay? Like she doesn't. It's like providing, okay, I can't have gluten. I can have gluten, but let's pretend I can't have gluten. So if every restaurant was one that prepared gluten-free food that didn't affect people that had gluten intolerances or allergies, everybody could go to it and be okay. I'm okay, even though I don't have allergies, but the person who has the allergies is also going to be okay. I don't even need to know that it's gluten-free. Probably not going to taste any different. It's probably going to be just fine, except if it's a pizza base, then it's going to be gross. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just not a requirement in the Western world, unless you're a Muslim. And God, wouldn't it be? Oh, you know what it is? It's because she's an addict, okay? And she's a food addict. She wants to be able to eat all of the foods, all of the everything. But now that she's a Muslim, it has to be halal. So if she traveled to, say, Canada, America, Japan, not that she's going to Japan anytime soon, but any other country that's not hot, that doesn't have a high population of Muslims to cater for their dietary needs, she's going to be really restricted. She's going to have to go to grocery stores and prepare the food. But the fact that she's living in a country where she could literally rock up and know that it's halal feeds into her food addict theology or ideology, or like her addiction. The junkie in her is going to stay where she's safe, where she knows she can get her fix and it's not a problem. She went back to Canada, she'd be really, really restricted. She wouldn't be able to have a Burger King's or a McDonald's. Well, she would, but she wouldn't be she'd be guilty of eating non-halal food, so she'd be a bad Muslim. Wow, I'm such a detective.
Burger King because it's not halal, you know. But here everything is.
So you can stuff your face full of pretty much anything you want. Isn't she lucky?
Alhamdulillah. Everything is halal. So that's why I think maybe UAE. I'm not sure. I think so. I think everything is halal.
I am convinced that she is related to Andre the Giant. There is no way in the world she's not from his ilk. I'm sorry. Her hands are completely out of proportion with the rest of her body. She's built like a troll doll. Square feet, oversized hands. I can't unsee it. I'm sorry. And I'm sure her hair is very much like a troll doll. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I could do like a little Photoshop of a little Foodie troll doll. Maybe I'll see if I can work something up, because that's what she reminds me of. Short, round body, tiny little square feet, hands way too big, hair that stands up, and then big googly eyes. I know she doesn't actually have big googly eyes. It's just like a filter, but that's how she presents on camera. So that's what she reminds me of. One of those troll dolls, but not the ones with the diamonds in her belly, because nobody wants to imagine that.
That was a yummy, satisfying, healthy meal. I didn't eat all the rice. There's still quite a bit. I will save it in the fridge.
Mutton is quite fatty. Rice is high carb. The portion was too big. Okay. It's healthy. It's healthy.
Fridge. I will say goodbye.
Don't sing.
Adios, amigos.
Bilingual. Queen.
Au revoir, à bientôt. That's all I know. Ni hao, or is that hello in Chinese? I don't know. I think so. Okay, guys, this has been a delicious meal. Thank you for sharing it with me. I hope you also got to have something delicious for dinner.
Haven't eaten yet today.
If not, I wish I could share with you.
No, thanks.
So, have a good night, guys. Bye.
Okay. So, that's it. That's Foodie. That's Foodie's engaging mukbang. Okay, so nothing interesting. Just an insight into Foodie's brain. She's banging Pink Floyd's around in her brain because she wants to talk about addiction, gaining sympathy points. Clockwork Orange is disturbing. True crime's disturbing. She's fixing her mental health by only having positive things in her brain. And she's lucky she lives in a country where all the food is halal, so she can literally eat what she wants untethered. Like no boundaries, no red tape in the way for her, no Googling halal restaurants and only having a few spots to eat from. Kuwait is her buffet when it comes to the crap food that she can order in. So yay, lucky for her. Well, anyway, if you enjoyed this one, LMNO, hit the like, leave me a comment. Maybe I missed something. Yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. I mean, it's free. It's not going to cost you anything. And I'll see you in the very next video. Bye, guys.
I was there when I needed someone who wasn't getting over you. When I move to the side, when I move, call you mine, and I know what you're feeling. I'ma take it for a ride. Let me take it off your mind, 'cause you